Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It is your Her Lunch and Learn. I'm your host and founder of Her Sweet Spot, Marcia Guerriere, and I'm excited for today's Lunch and Learn content evolution. How can you take your content? They say content is king in this new digital world. 100% digital world that we're living in. And I'm excited for today's guest, Dr. Aikyna Finch. She is a podcaster, social media coach, and a speaker. She coaches in areas of empowerment, life, and social media, and to individuals and groups from all levels for her company, Finch and Associates LLC. She has a podcast that she co-hosts called the Motivate Social Podcast, broadcasted by her company, Changing Minds Online. She speaks and live streams on topics of motivation, education, and social media. And in 2018, she founded the Social Power Summit, an event with a live and virtual component for the women in STEM and people of color in social media to have a platform where they can shine. She is a friend to Her Sweet Spot, a mentor to Her Sweet Spot. She has been teaching inside Her Sweet Spot for a number of years now. And if you guys probably do remember Dr. Finch from the 2019 conference, where she really helped everyone in our mastermind really go deep in bringing forth content and exploring how to use their content. Dr. Finch is an educator. She received her doctorate of management, an MBA in technology management, and an executive MBA from Colorado Technical University. She has an MS in management and marketing and an MS in information systems in IT project management. Woo, I got to take a breath because this is a highly educated lady that we have here. The doctor in Dr. Finch is well deserved. She is a former campus and facility dean at the established enrollment records at 3 campuses. Her teaching disciplines include business, leadership, marketing, social media, and information systems at the graduate and undergraduate levels. She has published and presented on topics related to youth and adult education, social media, and job search. Let me tell you, when I collect and bring in the experts for you guys, I do no wrong, right? Dr. Finch, welcome to the broadcast. Thank you so much for being our Lunch and Learn mentor for today and teaching us all about content and its evolution and how we can take it forward in our business.
Well, thank you, Marcia, for the opportunity. And, we're going to do just that. We're going to do a little teaching, and then we're going to have a few questions, and then we will be able to go along our day. So it is going to be very insightful and interesting, I do believe.
Absolutely. I'll let you take it away. Have a good lunch and learn, and I'll be back at the end of the program.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone, and welcome to Content Evolution. All righty. Just a second here. Alrighty. Okay, so this is just a little bit about myself, social media consultant, certified coach, the things that I have done in the past, and why I would know about content evolution. Alrighty, so we're going to start with the foundation. And I call this your idea tree. And so you have, as you know, the tree starts with the roots, right? So we have, what is our foundation? So first off, our values, our beliefs, our experiences, these things are going to give us ideas on how to create our content. Then we're going to go into our passions, our skills, and our education. All of these things will enhance the different ideas that we're going to bring to the table. Then our achievements, and of course, our gifts, those things that we are naturally good at. Some people are good at tailoring. Some people are good at carpentry. Some people are good at auto mechanics. Some are great at web design. Whatever it is that you're naturally good at, just straight out the womb, as they say, these would be your gifts. Okay, so how can we turn all of these foundational pieces into different ideas? Well, here are your leaves on the tree. and I have them color coded for you. So the different types of coaching would be in the red here. So you have your one-on-one, your group, and your corporate coachings. You could also do different events such as trainings, workshops, courses, memberships, conferences, and book studies. All of these engage the people and teach them something great. Then you also have your digital products, such as emails, vlogs, blogs. Vlogs are video logs, usually on your YouTube channels. And then you also have your podcast, your opt ins, things to get people into, and of course, automation. Then in your purple, we have our VIP days, our challenges, our books, our done for you services, those things that bring the people in and really get them working with you. You also have your groups and your consultant in that box. And then finally, we have our faith based items such as faith based coaching, devotionals, meditations. These are some of the things that you can really get started with in your idea tree. So, why do I call it an ideal tree? Because one thing will lead to the next. So, an email can turn into a blog, which could turn into a vlog, which could turn into a podcast, like that. Okay. So, these are your ideal trees. And so, when we go into our idea tree, we're also going to go into our pathways. Okay. So here is a pathway for repurposing for services. So let's say you have a topic. Let's go into, let's see, what do we want to talk about? Let's talk about repurposing. Our topic is repurposing. So I would do a live stream about repurposing. Then, such as what I'm doing now. Then I could take that live stream and transcribe it. Okay. And I could turn that into a book. All right. And from the book, I could get different chapters. And I could also take those chapters of the book and turn those into videos. And I could turn them into handouts so that I could create a course. Now, remember, you did the live stream. So a lot of those videos may be cuts from the live stream, but you might also have to add a few more videos. Perfectly fine. And they should match your handouts so that you can create a course. Okay, from this course, you have to market it, right? So you create a webinar to market the course. So 1 hour webinar, then they would come in at the end of the webinar, sign up for course like this. And then if you decided, hey, you're getting such a great response from the course, but some people don't want to do DIY, right? Do it yourself. Let's say they want to do a workshop. So you could create a workshop from those chapters and those handouts that you already have. Okay. And then you could go find you a room like at the library. Libraries rooms are free as long as you don't charge for the event. Just to get your feet wet. And you could have a nice little workshop there, videotape that workshop. And what else? Get those testimonials while you're there from the workshop that you just recorded. Okay. And you could also turn that into a live stream as well. From that, you could create a group. Okay, all these people that are signed up for your workshop, they signed up for your webinars, they signed up for your course. Where do they go to communicate? Where do they go to keep the fire going? You make a Facebook group for them. In this case, we are in Her Sweet Spot right now. So in that group. So now you could communicate with each other from the group. And from that group, what happened? You could create a group coaching program because from your group, you're going to hear all these different ideas of your people's pain points and what they're needing. And from there, you can create a coaching program to address all those things that start with the repurposing. Okay. And then finally, they've taken your group program. Let's say it was a 4-week or 8-week program. Wonderful. They still need some more meat. So what happens? You invite them to the VIP experience, which is your one-on-one coaching. okay, where you can really dig down deep and get with them. So we went from a topic to a live stream to transcriptions. You created a book, you created chapters and videos from the chapters, and you created some handouts, so you made a course. You designed a webinar to market your course. You realized that the course is going great, but you would like to have some more interaction, so you made a workshop. Then you created a group for all these people to fall into so they could create a community for yourself on repurposing. Then you go into your group coaching. You make your group coaching program, whether it be 4, 8, 12 weeks, what have you. And then after the group coaching program, you have a VIP or one-on-one coaching session as well. So those are some great options for the service. But let's say that's great for services, but I have a product. I have a book, I have a journal, I have a some cups, some mugs, some candles, whatever, right? What do you have for me? Great question. Let's see what I have for you. This is for products. So you have the idea. So let's say we have, here's a product, right? And you have the idea, you brainstorm it. All the different things you can do with the product. It could do this, it could do that. You wanted to do this, you wanted to do that. Then you make out a plan for that product. You go through the common theme. What is the common theme of your product? Let's say we're going to use a candle, right? So you have a candle business. And what would be the common theme? This is a candle that when you light it, you feel empowered. Okay, so your theme is empowering. So from there, you have a blog on empowerment. You can do your YouTube channel on empowerment. You can also do your YouTube channel on what? How to make candles, how to make affirmations to empower people, how to write different blogs on how to empower people. Okay. Then you can make a podcast. You're like, you can make a podcast off of candle making? Yes. You can make a podcast off of just about anything. I have seen it all. You can make a podcast off of the empowerment piece of it, off of the building piece of it, off of the brainstorming piece of it, however you decide to go. But you're still in the common thing. So that podcast, what happens to that? You can videotape these things, right? You are usually doing something. And it could turn into what? A YouTube channel. Okay, so the YouTube channel is going to market the vlog. It's going to market the blog. It's going to market the podcast. It's going to market your product. It's going to send them all to the website. All of these things, all on this YouTube channel. So it's still in the common thing. Then once we get into that, we can create merchandise. So let's say what's going to go good with a candle. You can have the melting things. You can also have the fragrances, the sprays. You can also have scented pillowcases. You could also have affirmation books to go along with the candles. Why? Because they could be smelling the candle could be lit, it could be their special place, they could be then reading their affirmations while they're in a safe space, all of those kind of things, right? So you could create the merchandise that sets the atmosphere for what? The common theme, which was the empowerment. Okay. And then you can start making micro content, small little affirmation videos. What would set the mood? You could do affirmation videos. You could do I am statements. You could read a chapter of your book and make these little contents. Why? So that they could have something to set the atmosphere. You could make a playlist, an empowerment playlist, so that when they are sitting there with your candles, reading the book, they could have the atmosphere flowing in the background. Okay. And where's all this going to be housed? It's going to be housed at your shop. So your Shopify, your website, just maybe even just a product center Some people do it on their Facebook pages or what have you. Whatever you decide to do, that is where you're going to make your shop. And then finally, you have your sales system. So your funnels. How do they get the product? The email sequences that you use, the videos that you make about the product, the testimonials you get from the product. All of these things go into your sales system, which will include your sales page, your copy. All of these things become your sales system. That's why a lot of people use what? Shopify, because all of that stuff is built into that. There's a few other products and things that work that way as well. Most websites, I know, if you have WordPress, have WooCommerce. WooCommerce is built in the exact same way. So there's a lot of different things that you can really work with to kind of motivate the process. Okay. So let's go over a few of the things that we talked about. So we talked about the products, and then we also talked about services, how to take them through the chain. And these, if you need these pathways for motivation, I am glad to send these to Marcia so that she can put them in the group, or send them out via email, whichever way she chooses. But I think that this is a good spot for us to really talk about it. Another thing I would love for y'all to have, and I'm going to just back up to the idea tree. This, I would love to send this to Marcia as well so that y'all can really put it out there what you want to do and what types of ideas you could flush out, because this is a great planning piece. Okay? So I think we will, I'll send all of you these things. And if you would like, I can also send out your foundational things. I'll probably just send you out this slide where it's written so that you can really just start flushing out and seeing which ways you need to go with your information. But I will send you your blank tree and your two paths as well.
This
Okay.
is such great. Thank you. So, Doc, I have a couple of questions for you.
Oh,
And if
certainly.
you guys have questions in the chat, if you're watching live, put your questions. If you're watching on the replay, just put watching on the replay and add your questions, and we'll get back to you for sure. And I will be sending all of this, the slides over to you. If you are on our mailing list, you will get the information. I want to talk to you a little bit, Dr. Finch, before I let you go. I can't let you go. You're welcome, Shaquan. You're welcome, Cheryl. Put your questions here for Dr. Finch. But I have a couple of questions for you, Doctor. You gave some really important and great information, which a lot of people don't realize how important it is to repurpose content. One, for the absolute purpose of building SEO. Can you
Mm-hmm.
just share a little bit about how the repurpose of the content helps you build your search engine optimization online?
Oh, certainly, certainly. So I'm gonna bring us back to the service page, if I may. All right. With this one, this is a prime example, because if you are titling that thing and it stays in the vein, guess what? You become that expert in that thing. And you also are what? Putting out your brand. So you make sure that everything you put out is branded. You make sure that it has your website on it.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you have your alt tags in there. So what? That builds your SEO. Why? Because every time they click on something, your tags are going to be in there and you're going to come up to the top of the search.
Right.
So that is very important. And you're also just building your expertise. People are going to recognize who you are and want to go to find you on social media, to find your videos, or go to your website to book time with you because they know that that is your area.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely helps with your SEO, because you want to make sure what's your keywords. In this case, repurposing, um, redesigning, webinars, courses, handouts, coaching, live streaming, all of these different things I would have where on my website and in my content page, on my course building page. Let's say if I decided to build on Thinkific or um, Teachable or what have you, I would have those exact same keywords in there, and that would help what push all of my stuff back to my SEO.
Mm-hmm. Right. And, in this path that you created, so many people are starting out from different levels and different places.
Hmm.
This is not a one path fit all. You can actually start from
Oh
course
yes.
creation and then just take that out and build out all of these different content
Hmm.
pieces from that. You mentioned earlier transcribing live
Hmm.
streams or vlogs. Do you have any
Hmm.
recommendations for an application that actually does that? Where can we actually get our video and audio transcribed?
Well, right now, if you are using StreamYard and or Zoom, both of those transcribe. There's also a program called Otter. Otter is connected to the Zoom, and that's usually how most people are transcribing through that if you have the enterprise account.
Hmm.
You can also go to rev.com. I also use a site called Capwing, and basically I could take a link off of YouTube and put it in the cap wing. It will find the video and pull that and actually go through and auto transcribe, and then you'll fix the issues. But for the most part, it's pretty spot on. So that's
Yeah,
another
not
way to do
perfect,
it.
right?
Right, it's not perfect, no,
Mhm.
but you will have to do some editing. But the most important part of that is that it is an option, especially when you don't have the full video at your fingertips. A lot of people want you to upload the video in. Well, Capwin will actually take the video off of YouTube, and I do believe a Vimeo as well.
Okay. Oh, excellent. So, another thing you mentioned all of these different places, types, and platforms to be videoing and blogging and live stream. When a person does, and all the social media channels that are out there, and your email list, right, and your
Mhm.
funnels, and all of that together, if a person doesn't have the capacity and or team to really build out all of this, how many platforms should they be using? What are the top most necessary and or probably the easiest? Because once you transcribe or once you download an audio or video, you can
Mhm.
easily repurpose that in other places. So
Mhm.
what is like the bare minimum? How many platforms should people be on?
Well, I would say at least one social media platform. I like the big three, but I use at least two. I would say the big three is LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. And the reason why those were the very first ones, and they have the longest track record. Of course, Instagram is great if you, especially if you're a product based business, because
Mhm.
it's visual. So is Pinterest because it is a search engine. YouTube is a search engine as well. So I would choose of the one or two that work the best for you in that grouping.
Mhm.
And as far as videos, I would do live streams on another platform. So that's why I use StreamYard so that I can push it out, or uh, Zoom. Both of
Mhm.
those will give me transcriptions, and both will give me so that I can edit those accordingly and those things. So that cuts some time out. If I'm just videoing from my phone, that's okay too. Just put it in something like a cap wing or something like that, so that it will start the process. If you just need something like really fast, rev.com is do that, but of course that comes more with a fee.
Right. I,
And
I use a lot of apps, that kind of automate the process for me, right? I
mhm,
automate it so that, there's some of my WordPress or my blogs that
mhm,
automatically go to my
okay.
podcast,
Yep.
automatically goes to my YouTube. So my YouTube is filling up
Mhm,
with audio content, but the picture that you use is, you know,
mhm.
showing up as part of the video. So there's always ways for you to actually do it where it's seamless and it
That's
could
it.
pretty much run itself for you. It's just really taking the time out to spend to build it out, right?
I agree. Like I use Simple Social Press for my live stream. So like if I want to do a live stream on Facebook, it'll take it and put it on my website and turn it into blogs and stuff for me right there on my website. And then Simple Podcast Press will take my podcast and it'll put it on my website. It'll put it on other spots as well. So now you can literally play my podcast on my website and I get hits for it if you're playing those as well. So that's another thing. One I use is Headliner. That makes it will upload the podcast that you put in. So let's say you put it in Anchor or well, they use Listen Notes. So
Mhm.
let's say it comes up in Listen Note. It'll then come in there. It'll make a graphic for you. It'll make it in for story size. It'll make it in a short version, and then it'll put the little bars on there so it'll move up and down. That's called an audiogram. And then you can use all of these pieces to promote right there on your social media handles, and it'll let you actually push the button to what social media handle, YouTube, and it'll even do the full version and make it nice and seamless and packaged so it just goes straight to your YouTube channel. So
Mhm.
those are just a few of them that have helped me with my automation.
These are real great content and platforms that
Mhm.
are helping with the automation of your repurpose, and so important to know and have. When it comes to repurposing and the automation for people like me and you that are using automation is going to be instantaneous, right? I am posting the content in one place and then it kind of spreads out. But is there a calendar or different time frame you could or should be repurposing it? Is it okay to repurpose the blog, the video, and the social post all in the same day or week or whatever it is? Does
Well,
that matter?
that makes sense. Sometimes I have a program, especially if you have a WordPress site. It's called Code Schedule, and it will take the post that you make on your blog, and it will post it to different social media handles according to the time frame that most people see it the most. And so it will actually push everything out in the right time frame that you need it pushed out with pictures and graphics and the whole 9 yards. So that is a very good question because you don't know what each platform has a different view rate and a different engagement rate, and it will go through your analytics and see what yours is, and then put it out accordingly.
Okay, that is really cold schedule. I gotta look into that because right now everything's just posting. I have, if you guys are part of the Sweet Spot community, you know that I have a blog, you know that I have all the social channels, and I have now the new network that's coming online, and you can register your free account for the Her Sweet Spot network online community, which has been really great. And I have a super announcement coming up in another week or two about that platform. I'm pretty excited to share with you guys. But then I have my YouTube page. If you're not following on YouTube, search for us on YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube page. I haven't even hit a hundred in my YouTube page yet, and it's important that you do that so you can get that special URL, right? So
Right.
you gotta rev up your YouTube subscriber list and really pay some great attention there. But Dr. Finch, I appreciate you for coming and talking to us about repurposing content. If you guys have any questions, again, let us know if you're here on the replay. Let us know if you are able to um, if you have a question right now, if you're still watching live, please put it in the chat while we have Dr. Finch still here. Dr. Finch, tell everybody where they can find you other than inside Her Sweet Spot. And I'd love to have you back again and share some more information about all the things social media and technology for your small business.
Well, it's my pleasure. So, as you see on the screen, I've given you my email, and of course, you can definitely book some time with me on aikynafinch.com/contact. I'm on all the social media handles, and I look forward to connecting. Why? Because we are doing great things and we don't have to do it alone. So,
Absolutely.
yes. And so this is a great network to be a part of. And I look forward to jumping in here in her sweet spot as well. So you'll be seeing me here too.
Absolutely. Guys, I thank you and appreciate you for tuning in for this lunch hours, lunch and learn. We are going to be back in another week with a Her by Salon Talk. And in another 2 weeks, we'll be talking about the life stages for every person at every stage in life, all the top documents you need to have for your life and business. And you guys know how I love to end every broadcast. If when we empower each other, we all rise. Bye bye for now.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Her Sweet Spot Experience. Make sure to visit our website, www.hersweetspot.com. That's her, SUITE, spot.com, where you can become a member of our growing community and get great content for your life and business. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We are your strategic partners to grow your business.